Okay, hi everyone. There we go, just making sure we're working. Perfect. Okay, hi. Welcome to my weekly episode of Show Me How It's Done. My name is Laura Nervonis, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Edmonton, Alberta, which is in Canada. So if you have any questions or need anything, just don't hesitate to reach out. So what I'm going to do today is I have two projects to show you, both featuring the Love Cats stamp set. And I figured, hey, Valentine's Day is next week, so let me show you something that you could use as a little treat to give to somebody special. If you are watching this later and perhaps it's after Valentine's Day or you already have that planned out, then go ahead and just switch out the sentiments and you can use this for an anniversary, thinking of you, a thank you gift, anything like that. But I think the kittens are adorable, so we're going to play with them. If you are watching live, please say hello, and don't forget that if you don't have all of, this stuff handy, because of course I just posted the measurements, you can always come back and watch the replay, so you can just enjoy this live, chat with me, make some comments, and you can come back and finish these guys later, because all the materials and all the measurements are going to be listed in the description on this video. So let's get going. Before we start, I just want to remind you guys that because it's February 2022 right now, we still have celebration going on, and that means for every $60 you spend, there are little goodies in here that you can you can receive for free with a $60 order as well as a $120 order. So I have gone over most of these in past videos, but if you have questions or you need a copy of this, just let me know. The reason I'm bringing it up is because Stampin' Up! Has offered some extra items starting February 1st. And again, these are while supplies last, but these guys are, pardon me, all things from our annual or like online selection. So they're not actually exclusive. If you miss out on getting them for free, these guys you can purchase later. And I know my poor printout is very bad, but you can hopefully get a gist of, seeing a couple kits that you can receive with a $60 purchase. There's some white ribbon, and you do get 2 spools of that. We have a couple punch options. This elegant tag is just really, really easy for you. If you are somebody who makes a lot of gift tags, that's a good one to get. And the Songbird, there is a stamp set that goes with it as well. So keep that in mind, that you could always purchase the stamp set and something else, maybe this Love Cats stamp, and probably get this guy for free. There's embossing folders, which is, you can not really see them here. I think I have couple handy. This is the cloud one here, that's the In the Clouds, and this is the Hive 3D folder. So those guys can be earned for free. These are a set of our Loveliest Layers masks, and if you don't know how to use those but you're interested, go ahead and snag them, because in a couple weeks or a few weeks I have a video planned for you where we're going to be playing with these guys. So they're really fun. And then there's some paper that's from our mini catalog here, the Enjoy the Journey. Or if you want to spend $120, there is a bundle that you can get that includes a stamp set and dies. And I haven't actually looked up this bundle, but it's definitely over like a $60 bundle. I probably want to guess it's a $70 bundle that you can get for free with a $120 order. So it's a really great deal right now. And of course, anything you do order from your own demonstrator or from me, you'll get these freebies. If you're ordering from me, you also get my monthly club kit. I will mail to you for every order over 35, and every order over 100 also gets a product gift as well. So keep that in mind. Let's get going here. Okay, so I don't know which one we want to do first. Maybe we'll start with the card, because it's probably the more complicated one, but it's not really. It's so simple. It's just this little mini card that I've decorated the front of, and I even put a kitty on the inside, and it's going to be very easy for you to kind of make a mass amount of these, okay? So to start with, you will need a piece of cardstock. I'm using Mint Macaron because I really love the softer tones, and this is going to be 4 inches by 6 inches. And then scoring right down the middle is this 3-inch mark is going to fold your card in half for you. Sorry, I have to get all my materials out of my baggie. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now you'll need 2 pieces of basic white, and these guys are going to be the same. We just need one for the front and one for the inside. So I need them 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And to attach those to the cards, I'm going to suggest that you just wait a minute. We're going to cut our DSP and then we'll start on a few assembly things, okay? So the designer paper for this card, I took, here, I'll show you my remainder of the package. This is a hostess package of paper in our annual catalog. And it is called, let me look, Design a Daydream. So there's 48 sheets in here and it's only $24, but the catch is you can only purchase it if you're spending over $200, or if you're like some of my monthly club members who they place a $35 order every month. They get to be a hostess one of those months. They can purchase these because they're part of our club. So this guy is a great package of paper, and that's where I took my designs from for this card. You're going to cut yourself a piece of designer paper from whatever package you have, and it will be 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. Now this designer paper that I'm holding can get mounted straight onto either one of your white sheets. Doesn't matter because they're the same size. And so just on the back, you can use whatever flat adhesive you'd like. So seal, double-sided tape, or glue are probably the most predominant choices. Throwing my tape on the floor. Oh, that's not a great idea. Don't think I need it for 1 second. Okay, lining that guy up. So he's kind of centered. There's a nice little white border. It's very subtle, the white border on this. I usually give myself like a 1/4 inch border, but this is really only about 1/8 because I wanted that to be very kind of hidden. Now this piece I'm going to actually pop up on dimensionals so that it kind of stands out from the rest of my card base. But of course, if you prefer to mail this, you might just want to be conscious that we're popping the cat up already and you've got gems. So just maybe test it first. You should be okay. I don't know. Some people have very bad experiences with Canada Post. I've really only had like 1 thing ever sent back because of size. So I'm being very generous with my dimensionals. I have no idea why, but here we go. I guess this will be very, very snug on my card front. There we go. And just make sure you've kind of got this centered as much as possible on the card. This will have about a 1/4 inch border because it's so pretty and we want to see that back. Okay. So there's your card front for the moment. We might as well just go ahead and start working on this inside piece because it's already cut and it's nice to get out of our way. So on the inside of my card here, I decided I wanted to stamp the little cat that looked like it was kind of hanging from the string. So I've got that all ready to go. And I'm using my Memento Black Ink. So that guy is just going to get inked up as much as possible. Oh, somebody loves me. A neighbor. Hopefully not an emergency. We'll get back to them. Okay. And I'm putting that just in the top section of the card so that kind of the top 2 corners of my string are hanging off. Just like that. Now to color my little heart, you can use any sort of red that you have. So if you've got the red Stampin' Write markers, if you've got cherry cobbler or real red blends, it really doesn't matter. Completely up to you to go ahead and just give yourself a nice red heart, or maybe you just want pink or something like that too. But I do find it's really cute to color this. Okay, now to put this on the inside of your card, you're using a flat adhesive because you really don't want this popping out, because probably in this little space, you're going to write a little note to somebody and just say, I love you, or to and from. So, putting on the back, tape, and I'm going to add that to the inside of my project. The fun thing is, if you really wanted to, of course, you can do different color cats. So I chose black just because it was really easy to work with, and then I only had to put out one ink because we're keeping this a secret, but my club members this month, this is one of their projects. So I wanted them just to be able to use one ink and then not have to wash the cats in between. So you could also use something else if you preferred for your cat. Okay, now for the front of our project, here's where you get to have a little bit of fun. Okay, so you're going to cut yourself out a little black scallop circle. You're wondering where I got that. These are the layering circle dies. So they have kind of flat edges and then some scallop edges too. And I'm using this guy here, which if you kind of like go through the patterns, like largest, second largest, third, fourth, it's the fourth largest one. I did write that down, but again, just choose what you're comfortable with. And go ahead and cut 2 of those because we're gonna need the exact same one for our bag. Okay, here, let me put the bag here for a second. So 2 of those black scallop circles is what you're going to cut. And then for your cat, you're going to cut 2 of our nice stitched circles, because I'm being fancy. If you don't own both die sets, then just find the coordinating layering circle that works. But I like my stylish dies, and you guys know that. So I'm using the 3rd largest in this set. And of course, this set is great because it comes with both the circles, squares, and banners kind of all in one for you. So keep that in mind. You're cutting 2 of those, and then we're going to stamp our adorable little kitties on there. So I picked the kitty, of course, that was going to fit in my circle, which is kind of the one who's just being adorable. Once more, I'm using the Memento Black, and I'm going to try and get the arch of his tail just kind of right at the top of my my white circle. Then I'll know he'll fit inside here. One. You might as well get both done. There's 2. Your black handy because we'll need it for sentiments, but you can go ahead and color your adorable little hearts, and then we'll mount these up. I'm just using the dark real red if you're wondering, but any of those reds will look very similar, so just whichever one you own. Okay, now to add these to my little scallop, the white here I'm going to put with a flat adhesive. So again, for me, some tape. Glue is also really good because then you can move it around. But just a couple little strips. It doesn't need to cover the whole thing. Oh, and then this guy goes right in the center. You'll just be able to see the little fringe around it. Most of that black is covered. So if you prefer to see more of a black border than this, then you might want the next size up. but I like this little fringe, that's it. Okay, put the kitty aside that goes with your bag. Just put that aside for the moment. We're going to finish our card here. So this little guy can get popped up on dimensionals and placed towards kind of the left-hand side of your card. You want room for us to put our sentiment in there. So I'm just going to put him kind of all the way to the left here. I've got the tiniest amount of space. Now for my sentiment, I know this probably looks odd, but I didn't use the stitched rectangle dies because when I was trying to match them up with this specific sentiment that said head over heels for you, they were too big. They didn't look proportional and it didn't fit nicely. So what I did was I took this die from the Quiet Moments bundle, and I have that here to show you. So the Quiet Moments, or Quiet Meadow bundle, sorry, has this fun little label die. So I took that and I cut out my basic white, and I'm just going to end up snipping the end pieces off, as I didn't want it to be this fancy thing. I really liked the rectangle shape, but that's how you can kind of repurpose a die if it's not the right size for you. But of course, if you're using a different sentiment, layering stitched rectangles would be great, or you might just cut out a square that kind of fits this. So I've got head over heels about you. And let's see, I might have to stand up. Pardon my head. Always tricky going in some of these little spaces. There we go. Head over heels about you. That is the one that I would like. And so what I'm going to do is I would like this attached to my project, but I don't want it lopsided. So my choices are either to put one layer of dimensionals under the word heels and you, and then it'll kind of rest on the top of my kitty and be even. Or this time I decided to be tricky, and I'm going to show you how you can actually double layer some dimensionals if you decide that that's what you'd like to do instead. Okay, so under the word head, because that's the one that's going to touch the cat, I'm going to put one, well, I'm going to put a couple dimensionals, but they're just one layer. Okay, and that will mean that these will stay popped up above the cat and kind of come out of the card even more. But if I was to leave it like that, this end just is all wonky and kind of like flutters in the wind, or it might tip down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to add two more dimensionals. This is under the word heels and you. Take off their backings. And then I'm actually going to put another set of dimensionals right on top of them. So I now have one layer that's going to go on top of the cat, and like two that are stacked together that are going to attach to the pink kind of base. So I've taken my backings off, and when I put this on, it will look even because the cat has a layer of dimensionals and there's one under the word head. And then of course I needed then two layers of dimensionals to equal the 1 + 1 on this side. So I hope I haven't confused you, but it does look really fun. And then I decided I wanted a little bit of gems, so I grabbed my fun little polished dots. These guys are on the clearance rack right now, and so they're really cheap, but of course you can use any sort of rhinestones, or we have gems that look very similar to this in the main catalog, but I've just been using them a lot lately because they kind of match my little pink, and the white is so easy to work with. So there you go. There is your card. Now, I would say if you're watching the replay on this, it would be a great time to kind of click pause, and then you can catch up if you haven't finished. But I'm going to keep going and show you the bag. It's very, very simple. Okay, so I'll maybe try to keep that in the frame for you. Okay, here's our bag. Cute little bag. These are called the Peekaboo Treat Bags, and they are found in our annual catalog. So the package, you get, I think, 4 in like this white color and 4 in a craft brown color. Here, grab that, this guy. So you get those. I decided I wanted to use all the white ones because, you know, they went with my nice Valentine color palette. So I've just stashed all the extras of the craft color and I'll use it for something else. That's fine. So to decorate these guys, it is very, very simple. All we're going to do is cut 2 pieces of designer series paper to kind of fit inside these little panels. And of course you can use whatever size or whatever pattern you'd like. Okay, so I think I might have trimmed, let me just double check this measurement here. Oh yeah, oops, have it written down correctly, I just didn't cut it correctly. Okay, so the piece on the bottom here should be 1 inch by 3 3/4, and the piece on the top should be 1 7/8 by 3 3/4. So 1 inch by 3 3/4, 1 7/8. Before you attach this, if you want to make this a Valentine little project, I would suggest doing your stamping. So I wanted it to say, "Hi there, Valentine." So just in the bottom, with my Memento Black, I'm going to stamp this sentiment. And then from there, you're good to start attaching your pieces. So again, the double-sided tape is probably the easiest thing for you to use. Glue, but the glue might get a little messy on these bags. So here we go. Tape or seal it up. This down here. Moving the card, sorry, hopefully you're done. There we go. And then to add your little kitty here, you can either add dimensionals to the back that go on this section or just the flat adhesive. So whatever you prefer. I kind of like the dimensionals because I feel like the cat is going to kind of pop out of the card anyways once I add some treats. And then it doesn't look so lopsided or awkward. So I'm just putting dimensionals on, but it does not matter. And I just put that kind of straddling that little window section, like so. And then to fill it, you can put anything you want. These are very, they're very tiny bags. Like they're not large. You can't put a ton of stuff in there, but it can fit a gift card. And they are food safe, so you could put like a cookie or some chocolates and stuff that are out of their wrapper. But I just went to the dollar store and grabbed myself, you know, a little baggie of these chocolates. And I really like these popping candies. I gave one to my kids for the first time, and it was hilarious to kind of see them as their mouths were exploding. So anyways, I just grabbed 2 little treats, and I'm just going to feed them into the inside of my little bag. So whoever gets this will have something fun to open. Now I'm not going to close this one yet because actually I think I'm going to give these to my kids' teachers, so I'll probably throw a gift card in there too. But to close it up, all I did was I grabbed some old twine, and I'm sure you guys have lots of twine hanging out. If you aren't sure what color to use, just grab white, and you can always take the correct color. This would be Bermuda Bay, and kind of color over your ribbon, and it'll dye it. And then I just twisted. This was one that had Bermuda Bay and white. It was a really old set, but you can also just color your set however you wish. So I just wrapped it around like 3 times and added a bow, but I'm not going to do that for this one because I need it open and then I'd have to undo it again. So there you go. There's our 2 little fun projects, and hopefully something for you just to pass out to somebody who you want to cheer up next week and say that you care about. So yeah, and if you're coming to club, I hope I didn't spoil the surprise. This will be one of your project sets that we're doing. If you're in Canada, I can mail these kits out to you, just so you guys know. What I do is I film a video kind of like this, and I send it to you along with a mailed out card kit, and then you just get to complete it whenever you have time. And so those kits are $17 mailed or free with a $35 order. So if you're interested, I'm more than happy to put you on my class list. And I think maybe 2 kits left from this month. So if you want one, you can snag one. But I can definitely get you on for next month too. So just reach out, and I hope to see you guys next Tuesday for another edition